is the Fan Cave Sports Talk. Don't be no fool moment. Telling you from the words of Uncle Bobby.
Tell him, Uncle Bobby.
Don't be no fool.
Uncle Bobby, thank God.
Welcome back to the Fan Cave Sports Talk Part 2. We can't afford commercials because we haven't been sponsored yet. So we'll get commercials as we go along. But thank you for joining us. Thank you for not going away. We're sorry for that technical difficulty. We're doing this in parts, so bear with us here as we go along. We still got Controversial Carl and D in the building. We discussing preseason, but before we get into that, we're gonna go into our "Don't Be No Fool" segment. As if you didn't hear the segue into it, which is our "Don't Be No Fool" segment. Should we play it again?
Play it again. We're gonna get back into the other discussion.
Okay, we'll play it again.
It's the Fan Cave Sports Talk. Don't be no fool moment. Telling you from the words of Uncle Bobby.
Tell him, Uncle Bobby.
Don't be no fool.
Uncle Bobby, thank God.
Okay, so there was a lot of foolery going on in the sports world. I mean, it could have been all this crap going on with Jake Paul and Tyronn Woodley and Jake Paul retiring, but no. Our Don't Be No Fool this week goes to a network who hopefully I'll be working for soon. See what I did there? Anyway, ESPN. Now, like, Cousin Brad, why are you giving ESPN Don't Be No Fool? Because ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports, they aired a high school football game last Sunday against IMG Academy, which is one of the best, if not the best, high school football teams in the country. They got pretty much D1 5-star recruits pretty much at every position on the field. And they had a high school game against a team called Bishop Sycamore this past Sunday. There was just one eensy-weensy tiny little problem. Bishop Sycamore isn't a school. As a matter of fact, Bishop Sycamore High School doesn't even exist. Okay, what, Cousin Brett? What are you talking about? Yeah, they got played. I'll explain. So, according to the Ohio Department of Education, there is no charter school listed under the Department of Education listed for Bishop Sycamore. It's a non-charter charter school. Listed as a non-charter charter school. They said, and I quote, that their school, and I don't know if y'all can make sense out of this, but I'll try to do it. I'll try to do this. In addition, this was their mission statement at Bishop Sycamore. I mean, according to them, they are a non-profit charter school, and because of serious religious beliefs, they did not take funding by the state. I don't know if that even makes sense. But it turns out, I mean, long story short, they don't even have a school. They're just they're about 30 kids that go to a rec center in Ohio.
How they play?
They have 30 kids, and apparently their coach got cases against them for fraud. And I mean, they go out there, they have 30 random kids. They just played a game last week where one of their players wore 2 different jerseys so they could play. I mean, they're not even a real school. Their address is a library that's not even near the facility, quote unquote. Wow. I mean, and they just went out there with a bunch of random dudes. A couple of these dudes played JUCO college against the best high school team in the country, and they just got annihilated. And just fun fact to them, just a fun fact, their head coach has already got cases against them for fraud. And just according to them, they have been outscored because they're not actually a team. They've been duping players and duping fraud players for the past 2 years, and they've been outscored 342 to 49 in their past 6 games. So ESPN for putting them on.
ESPN, do some research. Get your research department on.
Exactly.
Somebody probably got fired.
Exactly. Somebody got fired.
They should have hired me for the research department.
And according to ESPN, according to reports, they were telling that their starting quarterback had D1 offers, but he was on no one's radar. ESPN did not have this dude on their radar, and they just completely duped. I mean, but a second quarter, if y'all was watching this game, the second quarter, you could probably pull it up on YouTube. The ESPN commentators knew that this was a fraud from the get-go. They had no idea who these players were. They had mismatched helmets. They only had one jersey. One of their players played last Friday for the same school. Like this was just a so ESPN. Don't be no fool.
Don't be no
Do
fool.
your research. Do your
don't
research.
be no fool.
Right.
Oh Lord, to quote my famous Uncle Bobby. All right, so we got that out of the way. Back to this Patriot news. If y'all don't know, Cam Newton has officially been cut by the New England Patriots, and for Mac Jones, Mac Jones from Alabama. And we talked a lot about Mac Jones in the beginning segment, but now we're going to go on the other side of things, and we're going to go and focus on Mr. Cam.
Talk about Killer Cam, man.
And now, controversial crowd, you had some things you wanted to get off your chest in regards to this. So I'm going to go ahead and let you start.
My thing was they cut the better player. They cut the better quarterback, but I understand why they did it for the franchise reason. And I want to say that it's not because of his play. I don't think it's because he's a trash quarterback or he's not a good quarterback. I think it's simply because they had to do what they did for the future of their franchise and for this quarterback they drafted in the first round, and also because of COVID protocols. Cam Newton had cost them a couple of days of practice as their leader and starter quarterback for a dude that's kind of even on the fence with the roster. Probably the cheapest starting quarterback in the NFL at that. And then on top of it, you got COVID issues where you didn't take the test right or you're refusing the vaccine. Bro, all that stuff cost Cam Newton his job, because had he been vaccinated, I do believe he would be on that team and would be the starter.
All right, D, you want to go ahead?
And I agree with Carl. They did cut the wrong person. Like I said earlier, I thought they was gonna let him play himself out of his job. And what we was talking about in the chat earlier, it's the NFL, to me, in my opinion, stands for not for long. If you don't come in, you ain't producing, they're gonna get rid of you. Cam Newton last year, even though that Patriots team, they had opt-outs because of COVID, and they wasn't at full clip, but his play could have been a lot better than what it was for somebody that's been in the league and also that was former MVP. Now with this year, and I agree with what you guys were talking about earlier, if you have a veteran quarterback that's on par with a rookie quarterback in preseason,
I'm sorry.
Just sign with
Hold up, D. Facebook is bringing Cam Newton gets signed with Bishop Sycamore. That's hilarious. I'm sorry. That's hilarious. Whoever that was, kudos to you.
Oh my God.
That was a good one. Shout out to you. I'm sorry, D.
Can't even continue
but I had to go. That was funny. That was funny.
You go on.
Oh my God. I remember. If you got a veteran quarterback that's playing on par with a rookie quarterback, then maybe it's best to start the rookie and get his future on track to see what you can do, because they still have Jared Stidham on the bench, and they really don't know what they got out of Jared Stidham either. You know what I'm saying? To be quite honest,
he is still on the roster.
Yes, he is.
Brian Hoyer is the backup, right?
Brian Hoyer is a backup, but Jared Stidham is like third.
Brian Hoyer is really a coach. We know him really. He's playing the coach role. He's not going to be.
Right. But they shouldn't have cut Cam, in my opinion.
But think about it. They have if you're going to start Mac Jones, you can't keep Cam on that team. Is that true?
Okay, but here's my thing. Here's my thing, though.
Not necessarily.
Don't you think that'll be the star quarterback?
I get what you're saying. And I think they should have not let Cam go. I mean, let's be real. You're absolutely right on what you said. Mac Jones did look very efficient in the preseason. It's the preseason though. Cam Newton gives your team the best chance to win. Agreed. And if you cut Cam Newton, which is a proven MVP, who makes your team better, and you're going with a rookie guy, let's keep it a buck. You are not trying to win now. You are trying to develop a quarterback for the future. Agreed. So you are in rebuilding mode.
But Brad, let me ask you a question though. The money that they spent in free agency, can't somebody look at that and be like, well, they're not trying to be in rebuild mode. Maybe they really believe in Mac Jones over Cam Newton, because they spent a lot of money in free agency for them to be in rebuild.
Right.
Well, they had money. Right.
They had money. They had money. You're absolutely right. They had money. They spent it on a lot of talent coming into free agency. But at the same time, today they let their best quarterback leave.
I didn't even think
So
they did a great
what
job.
the mess? What's the message you're trying to send here? Yeah, this guy does make our team better, but I kind of want to go with that guy over there. I mean,
I think it's simply over. I think it's really over COVID. I just can't see it.
it could be, and it could
It
be.
gotta be.
The man did not get vaccinated. He missed 5 days of practice because of the weird test that he took or whatever, not in the right county or whatever the case may be. So, like, you can't have that happen. Like, I understand a team that goes on the position. I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying I understand the person who's on the team's decision to go forward. Like, what if this dude misses a game? What if this dude starts costing? Because it's also a leadership thing, right?
True.
If you're a leader, it's not doing something that can trickle down to the locker room. You know what I mean?
It can.
And that's why I think that part of the decision, I think Cam Newton had a big influence over that locker room. If Cam Newton's not doing something and he's the leader of your team, he is the most polarizing player on the New England Patriots, period. Right? He is a personality. You cannot have this dude on your team anymore, especially if you got a rookie that's up and coming. You can't do it. Because he will lead the team into division.
Now let's
not even on
we talked about this last week. Right? We mentioned how Cam Newton, they set him to the wrong place. And I was like, do you think they did this on purpose? I'm not saying they did, but I'm not saying they didn't either. Like, I'm gonna just keep it real. I'm gonna just keep it real. Before I say why. It's because let's look at this from a legitimate perspective, right? Cam Newton had to miss 5 days of practice. We mentioned that he was out Monday when we did our show on Tuesday. We said he will be back on Thursday, which he was. Mac Jones had the opportunity. They were doing a joint practice with the New York Giants. Bill Belichick had the opportunity to say, hey, let's see how this guy works in our role. Let's see how this offense goes with just Mac Jones and Cam not here. Let's see how he handles it. And according to the videos, I didn't see him, but according to what they had on video, he looked really good against the New York Giants.
They said he completed 32 or 36 passes
in a practice. So
and they said the Giants weren't even close. They weren't even like close to stopping him.
If now it comes down to final cut down day, and I don't know, I kind of think they should have let Cam die on his sword. That's my honest opinion.
Yeah.
Let him die on his own sword, and maybe at the team's expense. But I think your team definitely is not better if Mac Jones is your quarterback.
But what if your team is divided though? Is it better then?
Then your
whole team is problem. You might as well not even play the problem.
So like that's the case. The decision is not really made on the field. I don't think it's made on the field of play. It's made because of everything else going on, because of COVID restrictions, because of his influence, because of a lot of things. Cam Newton brings a lot to your team. He is a name. Like, let's be real. He's a name, and he's polarizing. And when you're talking about him, and you're talking about his stance on stuff and everything like that, bro, it can get tricky. So they're making these decisions. Yeah. So I can't even say that they made the wrong decision because they made a decision for the best overall. They may feel for their football team. And I'm not going to discredit Bill Belichick for he's not a dude that really makes a lot of mistakes.
He doesn't. But I mean, to your point, you said that if it's a divided locker room, and if it's a divided locker room in New England, then you lost the games before they even started, before the season even started.
Well,
you already lost the game.
Your leader, I'm just saying it would be divided because who you choose to be your leader.
Right. But if it's divided,
leader, and he doesn't, you know what I'm saying? It would be divided if he became the leader of the team and was the backup. It wouldn't work for that team.
That's not necessarily the case. When Nick Foles became the starter, and Carson Wentz got injured, they went to the Super Bowl and won.
That's different. I mean?
Then they came. Well, no, wait. Then they came back the next year. I mean, Foles was gone, but then Carson Wentz was still there. It was a divided locker room, but they got rid of Carson Wentz, and then Jalen Hurts became the starter. Now they got Nick Sirianni coaching for some reason.
So again, that's still a different scenario from what we have here.
But I'm talking about divided locker room.
No, I'm not talking about divided. I'm talking about like the potential for division. You know what I mean? Not that the division was already there. I'm just saying that Cam Newton being there may provide division. You know what I mean? If he is the quarterback, the better quarterback, and they all know it, you can't keep him on the team. Like, you know what I mean? Especially with the COVID reasons, you can't do it. You don't want to take the shot.
But what if the inverse happens where you let Cam Newton go? No, nobody on that team believe in Mac Jones.
Then
You know what I'm
have
saying?
more.
Then that's the so like
But
it's
you're
kind of like
doing
a
it.
catch
But you're
22
doing it.
though.
But they understand you're doing it for the future. They understand that part. Like, you know what I mean? They understand that part.
Yeah, I mean, to your point,
I think for this team, it just doesn't fit that. For this team in this scenario, it doesn't fit for Cam Newton to be there and be the backup, or to be even playing.
and Facebook user, whoever that is, just hit the nail on the head. Same thing that just happened in New Orleans. Sean Payton named Winston because that's what the team wanted, worried about losing the locker room. I mean, but the thing is, the same case is, if you lost the locker room based off your starting quarterback, the season's pretty much over.
It's already over.
That's every quarterback.
You might start looking forward to next year.
Right? You might as well not even go out there and play if that's the case.
But I don't understand what you guys are saying. That's every team. If you told me tomorrow that Trubisky is the starter, you lost that locker room.
Yeah, but no,
of course, but that's
absolutely. We're talking about.
That's different though.
What I'm trying to explain is Sean Payton is a Super Bowl winning championship quarterback. All right? He's a championship coach. Right. And you had to choose your starter between Jameis Winston and Taysom Hill. All right. Now, in my eyes, I don't know if I would have started Jameis Winston. I mean, yes, Heisman Trophy winner, Florida State.
Okay.
Florida State. 30 for 30 says a lot.
They're not grabbing Watson. It's over.
30 for 30 says a lot. But I don't know. But I mean, if Sean Payton is go off what the team wanted rather than what's best for the team, I mean, you can't let the team dictate who's going to be the starting quarterback of your team. It has to be what's in best interest of the football team. That's why you're the coach. If that's the case, there would be no coach.
No,
I think if they went Taysom Hill, if they would have went Taysom Hill, then it'd have been bonkers over there in New Orleans, bro. They'd have been like, "Yo, Kamara would be like, yo, trade me right now."
At the end of the day, a coach has to check the temperature of his team and know how to coach the team. You have to deal with the personalities. Marv Levy was perfect for the Buffalo Bills. You know what I mean? And what he brought to the table for that group of personalities. So your locker room does matter if you can't manage players. It does matter. You know what I mean?
True.
It does matter.
That's true.
How a coach can decide the personality of the team. That's why we're seeing the turnover of coaches over coaches, because some coaches don't know. Like, look at Marone. Like, he was horrible at that. You know what I mean? And you got players flipping on him left and right. He's horrible. Tom Coughlin, another coach, he's horrible at it. So you have to have a coach.
No, I wouldn't go to Tom Coughlin. Tom Coughlin was a good coach.
Tom Coughlin.
Tom Coughlin fucked up.
He got a point, but Brad, he got a point a little bit about Tom Coughlin though, because Tom Coughlin, it was my way or the highway with him.
Yeah, he
won like that. He won like that.
Michael Strahan was about to walk away from that team a couple times. There's a couple players that were about to walk away from that team. And he's lucky that they had the dedication that they have. But they
he got rid of him. And he got rid of him. It was him. Remember, it's him versus Tiki Barber, because Tiki Barber kept fumbling, and Tiki Barber started carrying the ball like this. Then he got released for Brandon Jacobs, and they won 2 Super Bowls.
But
so it is what it is.
Brandon Jacobs was a good player, but that team in general was a good team, and they bought in. They got into it, but they don't work all the time.
Right.
It don't ruin his relationship with another thing. Who was he just the coach of last year?
He was the GM. He was the GM of Jaguars, right?
No, defensive coordinator.
What
his big problem with Jalen Ramsey, you ran Jalen Ramsey all the time. What are you doing?
I mean, come on. Jalen Ramsey's a head case. Jalen Ramsey's a head case. Unless he's on a winning team, he's not going to be happy. As soon as the Jaguars start sucking, he got out of town. And that's the same thing that's going to happen in LA.
It's not just him. It's not just him.
I know it's not just him. It's not just him. You're absolutely right.
Reputation. It's all about how you can you manage your locker room? Can you manage the personalities? If you cannot do that,
right. You're absolutely right. It's all about how you manage the locker room. But these players going into the league now are a bunch of head cases. Let's look at this from a logistic perspective. Jalen Ramsey, how many Super Bowls you win? How many did Tom Coughlin win? So I mean, what you doing here? You playing in You played in the Super Bowl. Y'all lost, but I mean, what you doing here?
He played
As
in the
soon
Super
as-
Bowl.
Yeah, didn't he play with the Rams?
He was with
Super
he was
Bowl?
with the Rams when they went
I
to
don't
the
think
Super Bowl.
he was in the Rams. that
Oh,
year.
okay. Then he didn't even play in the Super Bowl then. There you go. There you go. And it's going to be the same thing in LA when they start sucking this year because they're going to be bad this year. They got Aaron Darnold, but Stafford is not going to help that team. I mean,
Stafford-
you know what? That's funny. That's funny.
Stafford is going to help that team.
We talk about
Listen.
Mac Jones. We talk about Mac Jones. Like we talk about 2 years ago. Did anybody think Goff wouldn't be playing for the Rams right now? 2 years ago,
Gaff looked like he was going to be a great quarterback.
He
went to the
he
Super
like he was a
Bowl.
perfect fit with that offense.
Exactly. And now he plays for Detroit, which is pretty much a
Well,
graveyard.
the NFL, like he said, not for long. So with that team, like they caught up to Sean McVay. He's been caught up to a little bit. So
Did
No,
anybody
but
think
the-
Carson Wentz? Anybody think Carson Wentz gonna play for the Colts right now? Like 2
I
years
never
ago,
saw
did
that
anybody
coming.
thought? Like, I mean, I don't know. I mean, we locked up Josh Allen for 6 years, but I mean, Mac Jones, bro. I'm telling you, I'm just gonna keep it a buck. He is not the answer. He is not the answer.
I'm
I don't know.
gonna give
He
him.
is.
I'm gonna give him a fair shot. I'm gonna give him his rookie deal.
I
But
would never.
I think after his rookie deal, they're gonna be looking for another quarterback. That's what I
every
think.
quarterback. But that's every quarterback. My thing about
No.
it is, I will never make the mistake of judging a quarterback ever again because I made a huge mistake with Josh Allen. I made a huge mistake. I was wrong,
Yeah.
and I can admit that. I wanted Rosen, and what
I was too.
Oh God!
Yeah.
What happened to him?
Look at the
No.
difference in careers. Rosen is on the Falcons right now. He did make the Falcons, but
Oh, he played the I thought he got cut.
You know who I
he
wanted?
was not cut by the Falcons.
Y'all know who I wanted for the Bills, but I knew they would never take
I
him
wanted
in a
Lamar
million
Jackson
years.
too.
I wanted Lamar Jackson.
I wanted Lamar Jackson too. I ain't gonna lie to you. I
wanted him and
Josh
Mason
Allen-
Rudolph.
Josh Allen was last on my list for quarterbacks that I wanted that year. I wanted Rosen, Mayfield. Who was the other dude? Wasn't really a fan of Darnold, but
I was a fan.
Darnold
of
was
Sam
more
Darnold. I ain't gonna
consistent.
lie. I was a fan of Sam Darnold.
I
wasn't a
wanted
fan of Rosen.
Mayfield, Lamar. Then I wanted Rosen and the rest of those people. But Josh Allen was last on my list. I was like, he looks trash, even in college. Trash.
And you know what, Carl? And we formed that opinion off of his college performance. You know what I'm saying?
It was horrible. Mac Jones didn't have.
But what we didn't see is that raw talent that you now have seen has grown into what it is now.
I seen it, and I didn't care about it.
You know what I'm saying?
I seen it, and I didn't care about it.
You gotta care. You gotta care about it because
it's
something there.
I'm saying
It's something there
talent,
to deal with. You know what I mean?
I'm good. Hey, you know what? Let Mac Jones play. Whatever.
Listen,
Easy win
when we
for us.
talk about Josh
I think
Allen,
he'll be all right. I mean, he not going. I don't think he'll be great.
When we talk about, I think he had more reason. This is my whole point. I'm gonna keep it real. I had more reason to think that Josh Allen was going to be trash than I had more reason to believe that Mac Jones is going to be trash, and that was my only point. If we going off based off his college football performance, which Josh Allen was trash, never scored a lot of touchdowns, and never threw for a lot of yards. He was playing in a horrible division, a horrible college. I'll give him that.
What a horrible team.
What a horrible team, but he was part of the horribleness. He was part of it. So at the end of the day, if I'm going based off his college football, it was trash. Okay. And Jalen Ramsey had a point by calling him trash because he only seen him produce trash. So
we see how that rolled down.
So exactly. So I learned my lesson. I'm not gonna sit up there and call a quarterback trash when I never seen him, like, you know what I mean? Even if he played trash in college, because you have more reason to say that about Josh Allen than you had to say about Mac Jones.
Okay.
Because he didn't play trash at Alabama.
Yeah, because he was at Alabama, bro.
Bro, he was at Alabama. He was
Alabama. I could win a national championship at Alabama right now.
Like, for real, I could go and see.
And I'm out of shape.
That's cool. That's cool. But he didn't play trash there.
Oh,
but Josh Allen didn't play trash,
bro. Okay, I don't know if y'all watch college football, but at Alabama, if you're a quarterback, pretty much all you got to do is hand the ball off or throw to a 5-star receiver.
But he did more than just. He did.
Am I wrong? Am I wrong here? Anyway, am I wrong?
You can say that about Ohio State too now, though.
I mean, he got two wide receivers drafted in the first round.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
He got two wide receivers drafted in the first round this year. Mac Jones.
You really gonna bring up Ohio State?
And a running back.
You can say that about Ohio State now. Ohio State got some really excellent players.
Fine then. I am glad that the New England Patriots will be starting Mac Jones and they didn't get Justin Fields. I'm happy about that. I can say that honestly. Because if they had Justin Fields, I would be nervous.
They wasn't in the draft position to get Justin Fields.
Good. Good. Because I'm happy now.
But Justin Fields can run. I don't know what Mac Jones can do.
Justin, I'm gonna tell y'all right now.
Justin Fields got an arm too, though.
Justin Fields is sick. That dude is sick. He's gonna be
Why he ain't
one of the
starting
top.
over Andy Dalton.
Come on, bro.
Because look at that offensive line. They don't want to kill Justin Fields.
They ain't trying to get that man murdered. He almost got murdered in the preseason.
Chicago.
You see, right? Yeah, you see what Andre Smith. You see Andre Smith did.
Chicago's GM is trash. He is trash, dude. All these quarterback turnovers, how they did Trubisky, how they did Foles. This is just the stupidest friend. They're almost as bad as the Texans. They're like they should be on Don't Be No Fools. But them and the Texans.
I think it's really Matt. I think it's Matt Nagy though, for real.
You went and
because Matt Nagy's not.
You went and traded for Khalil Mack, right? And then you just giving him nothing but butt cheeks as for quarterbacks. Like this is horrible. Like I feel so bad for Khalil Mack, bro. Get up out of there.
It is what it is. Hey, so we bring it back in the birthday boy. So we bring it back. We giving him. You are paying him a lot. You're giving him a lot. You are giving him a lot. So let me ask you. So, welcome back. Welcome back to the birthday guy. Welcome back to the birthday man. So now, if you just now joining in. You've been here for a second. We've been watching this. We were talking about this objectively from Cam Newton's perspective. What are your thoughts on his perspective when it comes into what happened today?
I think it's a gift and a curse. It's a gift because at least they're releasing you, so now you can try to find a new job. It's a curse because I think if COVID didn't exist, the situation would be much different.
Oh yeah.
I can't. I'm not. I get what everyone's saying because there's numbers. Oh, you didn't play well, but people keep acting like the Patriots team last year was great. They weren't. They were a bad team.
No, they wasn't.
They were a bad team last year, offensively and defensively. There was like nothing. It was
Cam. What's so scary about that is they were like about 3 or 4 plays from being right neck and neck with Miami.
We were 3 or 4 plays from winning 10 games. That's what people.
Yep.
No, I'm talking about just like one play. Like one play in like almost every game.
That's what I'm referring to.
There was a fourth down where they ran. Like it was the stupidest call ever. Why are you running Cam Newton on 4th down?
They almost won that game. That was his best game as a Patriot.
That was a stupid decision to run him at that point. That was a dumb play call.
They almost beat us if he didn't fumble.
He ran right into it. Yeah, so that's 2 games right there. It's like 3 or 4 games. They were right there with Miami.
And Kansas City.
With a trash team.
Cam Newton should have won those games. Well, Kansas City didn't play, but still, we would have won that game if Cam played. Those three W's put us in the playoffs. So I don't see how Cam is this bad player. And like I said earlier,
I don't think he is. It's not because of his play.
And like I said earlier, it's more to it than just his play.
All right, so let me ask you. And I'm gonna be just brutal, and I'm not taking shots. This is just an honest question. This is just not even a Bills fan question. This is a football question. Are the Patriots in rebuild mode?
No, they're not.
Explain why.
They're not because
bless you, whoever that was.
They're not because outside of the quarterback position, they have the talent to win now. It's just a matter of how competent can the quarterback be. The Patriots have the talent to be like the Seattle team that won the Super Bowl a few years ago. Run the ball. Quarterback.
Bless you.
Allergies.
Quarterback doesn't make no mistakes. They run the ball heavily and rely on the defense. They have the talent to do so. Now, will that happen? That remains to be seen. They do have the talent to win the division and win the Super Bowl. It's just a matter of health and Mac Jones playing.
They have the talent.
Okay. Hold on, wait. Before you even do this, and I'm just looking again, this is not a Buffalo Bills perspective. This is an NFL's perspective. You got to go through Cleveland. You got to go through Tennessee. You got to go through Kansas City. You got to go through Buffalo, and maybe you might have to go through Baltimore. I don't see the Patriots better than any of those teams.
Well,
they don't have a better roster than any of those teams.
You know what? I take that back. I take that back. Maybe Baltimore, because Baltimore.
We don't need a better roster.
Well,
We don't need a better roster. We just have to be able to beat them on that day. We can beat Kansas City. We always have Kansas City fit. Last year when we couldn't even score, I think they won on a pick six. Is how they beat us.
True.
Baltimore, we beat Baltimore last year. The Bills, if Cam doesn't fumble, we beat the Bills. Like, it's not like they're far and away better than us. We can win. If New England plays better, they can win those games. They're a threat. They have one of the best offensive lines in the
That's
game.
a fact. Y'all line is solid. Y'all line is solid.
One of the best
I'll give you
lines.
that.
Well, their
I'll give you
defense,
that.
their defense is going to be much, much, much improved, especially when Gilmore comes back. So
If he comes back,
they can. It's just a matter of if they will. It comes down to Mac Jones and it comes down to health because Patriots are already both the tight ends are already hurt. I don't. We haven't started the season yet. Both of them was hurt.
So can we all agree that Cam Newton is still is he a starter in this league still?
Yes.
Yes.
I think so.
yeah, I would say so. Yeah.
You put him on. You could put him on. You could throw him on the Broncos. He could definitely start for the Broncos. You could throw him on. You could throw him on the Texans. You could throw him for the Texans. You could start him for the Texans.
Panthers.
You could start him for the Jets.
No.
You could start him for the Jets.
Let's be realistic. I can tell you. This is where I think Cam is going. This is just me. How about them Cowboys? I think Cam goes.
No.
He going to Dallas?
He ain't going to Dallas.
Why wouldn't he? They have no backup quarterback, and Dak is having all types of arm issues.
They did cut their backup quarterbacks though.
They have no backup. They cannot put it all on Dak. Dak just physically something's wrong with Dak. I don't know what
they feel about that. How the COVID situation?
I have not. No, I have not watched. I have not watched Hard Knocks this episode. I'm going to watch it tonight after the show. And you are right. Dak Prescott does have a arm, but it's not a tear. It's more of a pull or aggravated arm issue. He won't play. He didn't play at all in preseason, and they say he should be ready by game 1. But Cam going to the.
I will say that.
You know what? Jerry Jones just might do that.
If I was here, I can see the Cowboys doing that.
He would do that.
Cowboys doing that. I can see
the Cowboys going to Cam Newton.
But the best fit for him to me is for him to go back to Carolina because I think he can beat Darnold out.
They don't want to be. He don't want to be there.
They don't want that.
They don't want him.
They don't want to do that. I think Darnold is perfect where he is right now. That's gonna be my fantasy quarterback. I can say that honestly. That's gonna be my second fantasy quarterback. That's gonna be my number 2 quarterback. I draft him.
I hope you do draft him.
I'm drafting him. He's gonna be my second string quarterback. Whatever. Gonna have a breakout year this year.
I'll take Tua before I take Darnold.
Again. I hope you do.
I wouldn't say all that, dog. I wouldn't go that far.
Y'all want to make a little friendly wager that Tua has better fantasy numbers this year?
No, don't do that. No.
If Deshaun Watson does not come to
not fantasy
Miami,
numbers. Not fantasy numbers.
Tua Tagovailoa will have a better season than Sam Darnold.
You're not talking fantasy. We're not talking fantasy. We're talking about player for player.
You just said he's going to be your second.
I know, but I'm not saying we're not going to go. Oh, he's going to have a banner fantasy game. Fantasy kid, you can't say that. I'm talking about actual play on the field, not fantasy points because those can't be real.
No, that's what my point was. I said I'd rather draft Tua in my fantasy draft than draft Darnold. Is that fair? That's what you just said. You said
yeah, I know, but no. We're not doing that. I'm not doing. If you talk about have a better season, meaning have a better season as a quarterback.
I didn't talk about that. I ain't talking about better season. I'm talking about for fantasy reasons right now. We're just talking fantasy. You mentioned that you
fantasy.
No.
Right.
I'm talking about fantasy only. You said in fantasy you want Sam Darnold to be your fantasy quarterback, backup fantasy.
Right.
And I'm challenging you by saying that in my fantasy team, I would draft Tua before I draft Darnold as a fantasy quarterback.
Okay, then we got to make it. We're making a bet right now. Okay. In the same round, You have to draft Tua, and I have to draft Darnold in the same round. No.
I'm sure there'll be better quarterbacks than.
Don't do it. No. We're doing it. We're doing this. No, we're doing this.
I'm
we're
not
in
doing
now.
that.
No,
I'm
we're
picking
in
the
this.
best
No.
quarterback on the board.
No. Don't do that. No, because now we're doing it now. Now you're in. So
You're
in the
doing
same
that.
round, at one point,
I never said I'm sticking to. I never said I'm taking.
So he wants to make a wager, but doesn't want to make the wager.
Backpedaling
Okay.
a
I'm about to
little
say.
bit.
This is the wager. If
the wager,
I said I will pick Tua before I would pick a Sam Darnold for my backup quarterback position.
But what I'm saying, if we do this,
I'm not taking him before I take Tua. I'll stand by it.
Okay. Well, I'm picking Darnold as my. If he's there, I'm taking him as my second string quarterback.
But
and
you
if
don't
you have Tua,
better fantasy. This is not making any sense to me. But
right.
You don't.
So what I tried to just explain to you is what I just tried to explain to you is if it comes to the later round in our fantasy draft,
right,
in the same round, I don't know who's going to pick first, me or you. I don't know. We haven't rolled out the order yet. But our draft is on September 6th.
Make it make sense to me.
Okay, so I'm trying to make it make sense. If it comes to a later round, me and you have to pick our quarterbacks. Have to pick quarterbacks. If Tua is there, you pick Tua. If Darnold is there, I'm going to pick Darnold. Whoever has the best year out of the two, the loser has to be don't be no fool that week.
Why do I have to pick Tua though?
Because you just said you would pick him. I would
pick him above Darnold.
Right.
Deshaun Watson might be there for all I freaking know. I might decide to take Deshaun Watson if I think he's gonna land somewhere. I'm just saying that I would never pick Darnold in fantasy before I picked Tua right now. That's what I'm saying.
All right, wait. So you ain't gonna put
you
Tua
don't
on your
believe,
roster.
but you don't believe. I said this to say that.
Okay, fine.
You just sat up there and said you believe Tua's going to have a better fantasy number. But you won't select him.
Fine. You know what? I'll make it sense. I'll make it make sense then. Since I'm going to pick Darnold anyway as my second string quarterback, if Tua has a better fantasy week, a better fantasy year than Darnold, don't be no fool for that week.
Okay,
is that fair? That way you don't have to have him on your team.
I'll be the fool if Tua doesn't.
He's going to suck anyway. So, I mean, I pretty much got that locked up.
Darnold's gonna suck.
Yeah, and you got to wear a Tua hat. You got to make it. You got to make the shirt. Just says I love Tua.
You're doing too much. I think Tua's gonna have a better season.
Moving on.
Notable cuts. I noticed that
I got the roster.
Desmond Trufant from. I'm talking about notable cuts around the league. Desmond Trufant.
Yeah. I was gonna do Bills, but you can go ahead and go.
Because Devontae Freeman, can he still play? I don't know.
I wouldn't take him.
Who's else? Another note. Hollister for the Bills, tight end. Are we making a move for tight end somewhere? I didn't hear anything yet, so I don't know why we was cut our second best tight end. But
I think he's gonna make a roster somewhere.
I think we're about to sign him right back. I think they're about to put Sweeney on injured reserve, and they're gonna go ahead and get Hollister right back.
Well, for our Bills fans, the final cut down day was today. Jake Fromm did not make the roster. Davis Webb did not make the roster. Antonio Williams is gone. Tanner Gentry is gone. Isaiah Hodges is gone. Steve Sims is gone. Another speedy guy. Anyway, Nate Becker is gone. Jacob Hollister is gone. Quentin Morrison is gone. Reed Ferguson is gone. Alejandro Griffin. Is he baby Warren G? Is he baby Warren G?
Yes,
that's Elijah Griffin. Yeah, Elijah Griffin.
Damn, man. I want him to make the team just off GV, just so they can play regulators if you do something. Anyway,
play regulators.
Cam Lewis is gone. Nick McLeod, I'm surprised he was gone, but he's gone. Rashard Wildgoose, he was trash. I'm glad he's gone. Josh Thomas is gone. Mike Love is gone. Brandon Bryan is gone. Jack Anderson is gone. Jordan DeVay is gone. Jamil Douglas is gone. Bobby Hart is gone. Joe Giles Harris is gone. And Marquell Lee, he's gone. I was nervous
Forrest
about that.
Lamp, who's been injured, is on the team right now. So I gotta imagine that he's been hurt. He's worked really bad too. So I gotta imagine he's going to IR. There's a couple people that you know for sure are going to IR. And we cut did we cut Reed Ferguson?
We did.
We cut Reed Ferguson, and we traded defensive end Gerald Johnson, Van Johnson.
for a
That was a
six-round
hard
pick.
one. That was probably the hardest hit that he
Yeah,
took for that special team.
that was
right now.
tough. That was tough. All right, so we're diving in. Something else happened Sunday. Oh boy, Jake Paul fought Tyron Woodley.
Yeah.
Now I know we don't have much to say about this. It was if you didn't watch the fight, it was a split decision. Jake Paul won and retired this
Do
morning.
we got that clip of when dude let up?
We don't. We don't.
Don't
We
have
don't
the
have
clip?
that clip. We should have that clip, but we don't.
I'm trying to like secretly tell my brother, like, go ahead, get that clip.
Oh, we have the clip of the knockdown in the fourth round. The specific knockdown in the fourth round of the fight. If you're looking on YouTube or any other platform, he was knocked down in the fourth down by Woodley on the overhand right.
You get knocked down or you get knocked against the ropes?
Knocked against the ropes, but I don't know why he didn't finish.
That's not down. You know what I mean?
No, it counted as a knockdown. It counted as a knockdown. Yes, that counted as a knockdown. That counted as a knockdown. So I don't know how. I mean, Jake Paul. Let's be real. Let's be real. Is this bad for boxing? I don't think it's bad for boxing. But Jake Paul,
he retires, it ain't.
He just retired this morning.
Good.
This is. I mean, like this is getting ridiculous, man. Let's look at Jake Paul overall. I mean, his first fight was against
we don't
another YouTuber. Another YouTuber.
We don't need to look at him overall.
Okay, it was. But I'm just looking at this objectively. It was against another YouTuber named Austin Gibb. I don't know who that is. He won in technical knockout. He fought Nate Robinson, beat the crap out of him. We all saw how that ended. Then he fought MMA fighter Ben Askren, who was not really a striker, and he was past his prime. Then he fought Tyron Woodley, who is another. He was a wrestler. He was more of a grappler, MMA fighter sort of guy. He wasn't a striker. He couldn't strike all that well. He threw like 7 punches in the first couple of rounds. Like, come on, bro.
Jake Paul,
he never fought an actual boxer.
We don't need to waste any more time on Jake Paul.
This is terrible. It's terrible for the sport of boxing, man.
It's good, but it's bad because they have nothing else of interest.
To me, is making a mockery of the sport of boxing in general. Because this dude's not a boxer, and that's why he's not boxing actual boxers. He's boxing other YouTubers and people that don't have experience in a boxing ring. Now, somebody will say, "Oh, well, he boxed MMA fighters." Well, MMA is a whole different animal than boxing.
True.
You know what I'm saying?
He hasn't fought a striker either.
No.
We need some. All it tells me is we need some interesting personalities in boxing, Like the personalities.
We not going to talk about how Woodley held up after he landed that blow. He held up after that. We're not going to talk about that either.
All right, so I guess we're going to go ahead and skip on that then. All right, we're going to skip out to make your point. We're going to go around the room. And since you are the birthday man, I don't call you birthday boy, I call you birthday man. You got the first opportunity. By the way. Make your point for this week.
I don't think I have one.
Why do you always go to him first?
I tried to do it because it was his birthday. I tried to go to his birthday, but fine. We'll skip. We'll skip to it. We'll come back to you. We'll come back around. So, D, make your point. Anything you want to talk about in sports? You got 2 minutes. Go.
Well, I apologize for that noise in the background right there. They cut it off for me. I'm getting ready for the Saturday, 3:30. We got a huge game, the Miami Hurricanes against the Alabama Crimson Tide. And I don't really like our chances, but since I'm a Canes fan, it's a Canes thing. Nobody understand it.
We don't.
We're gonna be ready for Saturday. That's all I'm gonna say about that. And I'm just waiting. I want to knock Alabama out. I don't like Alabama.
Okay, can I ask y'all, what's y'all rank this year?
We going in ranked 14th in the country.
And what is Bama ranked?
Number 1.
Yeah. And where are y'all playing?
That don't always mean nothing though, because I remember Appalachian State in 2007 beat number 1 Michigan in the first game.
Oh yeah, sure did.
So rankings don't always mean nothing in college football, Brad. You cousin Brad, you already know that. But
sure did. Who did they beat? Who did Appalachian State beat?
Michigan.
Where did they beat them?
In Michigan.
Yeah, they did. Okay, sorry.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know that make you smile as an Ohio State guy. I already
I
know.
love it. I love it. That was a happy day at the barbershop. Well, whatever. Going off the point. All right.
Yankee winning streak continues.
Nah, they lost. They lost. They lost.
They finally lost. Oh, dang.
They did.
I didn't hear.
They
I didn't watch
did.
last
They
night.
lost twice. They lost twice. But whatever.
Oh, dang.
We're
Baseball played too many daggone games.
we're still.
man.
Hey, we're still. Hey,
It's
we're
all
still.
right. We still in good position.
We're good. We're still in the wild card. We're good.
We not Bishop Sycamore. You know what I mean?
Oh! All right, Carl, make your point, man. 2 minutes.
All
Go.
right, so my point, Buffalo Bills talk. I like to talk my Buffalo Bills stuff. I'm gonna go ahead and say I'm gonna do a hot take. I think that Matt Breida needs to start for the Buffalo Bills. He is the most threatening running back on the team, and I do think we need to cut. Even though I'm friends with him on Instagram, I'm sorry, bro. I don't think you're better than Le'Veon Bell. I don't think you're better than some of these free agent running backs that are out there. So,
And who are you speaking of?
I'm talking about Zach Moss. I don't believe in his talent.
Oh, cause stop it.
At this
No.
point right now. I know you guys don't care just because he was drafted by the Buffalo Bills. You guys think he's great, but I think if he goes to another team, he's just another average running back.
Wow.
He's nothing special. I'll take Le'Veon Bell all day long.
Wow. You still got a couple. You still got a couple seconds.
Zach Moss is trash.
Wow.
He's not trash, but he's just not anything special. Yeah, that's it. He's going to average about 4 yards per carry. He's not going to break any long runs. He's not going to do anything that a starting quality running back in the NFL needs to do. Done.
Wow.
Oh, by the way, Devin Singletary, you're good for a good 15 yards. You're going to make a 15-yard run this year, maybe 16, but you'll never go 80 yards. You'll never go 70. You'll never go 60.
He did last year. He did against the Broncos.
That was a 60-yard run? 40?
I think it was like 55.
It was long. It was a long one.
One long run.
Wow.
You're not starting quality
Wow.
running back.
Wow.
You're number two. You're a number two. You have a bunch of number twos and threes.
Two, are you ready yet? Are you ready yet? I think Carl played for Bishop Sycamore. Carl played for Bishop Sycamore. Carl played for Bishop Sycamore, yo.
Y'all don't want to hear it. Y'all don't want to hear it. Y'all don't want to hear it.
Two, are you ready?
One more point. Jermaine Evans, you suck again. You sucked in that last preseason game too. You suck. Yo.
And there is the coach from Bishop Sycamore High School.
Yo, what's going on?
I'm just telling you, I call it like I see it. Jermaine Edmonds, trash again. Oh, it blows my mind. I'm so hurt.
Wow.
You should have drafted Buffalo Bills. You should have drafted Fred Warner, the middle linebacker from the San Francisco 49ers, who got drafted 3 rounds later.
All right. So are you ready? Are you ready to are you strapped in? Okay, go ahead. Make your point, man. 2 minutes. Go ahead. Ouch.
I want to start with Alabama quarterbacks, specifically Tua Vailoa, whatever his name is. Tua, you're apparently trash. You're so trash that after one preseason, your team is ready to trade for a quarterback with you in the package to trade for a quarterback who's going to sit out for 2 years potentially. That says a lot about you, sir. You suck.
Allegedly.
More than likely, he's going to be out for 2 years. More than likely, or not.
They're
willing to trade not only Tua, but a bunch of other first-round picks just to get rid of you. You, sir, you suck.
Miami denies that.
It's true.
All right.
The Dolphins deny that.
I don't think they believe in him, man.
Listen. You
Go
can't
ahead,
believe
please finish. I love what you're talking about right now.
You cannot believe in a guy who got an offensive coordinator fired because everyone thought your scheme was too complicated. Comes to find out, you just didn't know the playbook. You never tried to learn it. Well, then not only is that the case, you admitted it. He said this. He said in an interview like 3 weeks ago. You can YouTube it. He came out and said he's like, I never learned the playbook. So you got a man fired because you refused to learn the playbook. And then you started, you tanked a team's whole season because you refused to learn the playbook. You're an idiot.
Who started the dude? No, the decision. Who's starting a dude who never learned the playbook? Who started that
That's gotta be
quarterback?
management. That's gotta be
B-Flow.
management.
What
I
is
can't-
going on?
I don't think it's B-Flow. I don't think B-Flow did that.
You mean to tell me
think
you
Flores
took out a
started.
starting quarterback, right? This is confusing, bro. This is why this shit cannot be real or true. You took out a starting quarterback who was winning on a winning trajectory to put in a guy, and you didn't know whether or not he knew the playbook. This is confusing, bro.
This is why.
This can't be real.
This is why owners need to let football operations people do football operation people things, because you put players in bad positions. Now you have teams like Josh Rosen. His career is ruined because nobody believed in him. Apparently, the owner wanted him and nobody else did. The backup for the Steelers, what's his name? The Ohio State quarterback. Keep forgetting his name.
For who?
What's his name?
Steelers?
Haskins.
Haskins is like playing in Pittsburgh is like
He did it. I know, but he did that to himself in Washington. You can't argue that. He did that to himself.
No, he didn't. Snyder wanted him, and nobody else did. John Fox did not, or not John Fox.
Riviera.
No, not Rivera.
Rivera's the coach.
Gruden didn't want him. Jay Gruden did not want him, and he said a number of times.
But the team didn't want him either, though. And he was doing party. He was doing crazy stuff.
That's my point. It doesn't matter. It's hard to play when nobody wants you around. You're not going to flourish. You know how many teams, you know how many players have been ruined because the coach didn't want the player? Look at Vince Young. Vince Young balled out his first couple years in the NFL, and the coach still didn't want him. And then his career went trash because they broke his confidence.
All these players have a part to play in it too, though. But I understand what you're saying. You do need.
Wait. What was Vince Young? Vince Young didn't play the first 6 games, and he played like the last 10, and they went 9-1 and went to the playoffs because of Vince and Vince only. Did you get about that?
He won Rookie of the Year.
How long can that last? But listen, how long can that last? How long can that last in the NFL, though?
It don't matter. You play to win the game. He was doing exactly that.
What you did last year,
and then they got rid of his receivers. They got rid of his receivers and his running back too.
What you did 1 year, right? You did what you did 1 year. That has no you still got to bring it the next year.
But you wouldn't know unless you try it.
He couldn't even make another NFL roster though. He couldn't even make the Buffalo Bills, and we was trash that year.
It doesn't matter.
He played for the Eagles, but I get what you're saying.
They ruined him. They ruined. I don't believe.
If you're great,
he made progress.
If you're great, you really can't be ruined. You're not great. He wasn't great.
That's not true. I think players, quarterbacks specifically, get ruined all the time because they're put in bad situations. You put them on a team and you don't give them nothing to support them. Look at David Carr. David Carr wasn't a bad quarterback. The Texans, he played for the Texans 5 years. He was pretty much a tackling dummy. He was doing from the start.
He was doing from the start. He was doing from the start.
He was ruined. That was on David Carr. That's on the franchise.
He was doing from the start, though. They didn't have an offer. They were an expansion team. He was the first pick. He was pretty much.
But they didn't even build on it. They got him. Andre Johnson. I'll give you that. But what about the rest of your picks? They're all trash.
Yo, bro. But listen, like there are players that also weren't given a lot, but they still shine.
Well, they'll put in the right system, and because there's coaches who operate like Belichick, where it's like the best player will play, and they draft well. A lot of these teams don't draft, especially quarterbacks. They're not put them in great positions.
Yeah, I agree with you.
To your point, let me ask you this. Do you think to that point, then I gotta make my point real quick because we're running out of time. So to your point, now Marcus Mariota, he was an early pick. He was decent when he first got in the league, and then he just looked bad. And then Ryan Tannehill just came in and became a Pro Bowler. But I don't think personally Marcus Mariota is a bad quarterback, honestly. I think he's still capable to be a starter, honestly.
I don't
think he's bad.
Starter? Starter.
They didn't. I don't feel like they played to his strengths either.
Yeah, I agree.
They never did.
He went to Oakland. He played very well.
Yeah.
We played in Oakland. He played pretty well last year.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. To your point, but So that really comes with it. To me, to your point, it comes with the territory. To me, Ryan Tannehill wasn't bad in Miami, but he came to Tennessee where they just got rid of Mariota and became a better quarterback. You see what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying?
I don't feel like that's my point.
That makes sense.
Too many teams that's my point. Too many teams are putting players in bad situations and they have to go somewhere else to flourish. But I don't feel like that's the issue with Tua. Tua's issue is
injury.
I'm not interested.
No,
He just
he's
doesn't seem
bad.
interested.
He's not good, bro.
I'm gonna have to research that. I never heard that until today until you brought that up. So
You can
that's crazy. You shouldn't even be able you shouldn't even be on a franchise if you didn't even bother to learn the playbook. What would you even admit that for? Like, why would your agent
hey.
that don't even make sense.
To be fair, Jamarcus Russell, y'all remember what happened to Jamarcus Russell? The coach put a $100 bill in his playbook, gave it to him, and said, "What do you think about this?" He never said anything about it. Then he said, "Okay, maybe he just took the 100 and kept it moving." Then gave him a blank tape and said, "Hey, I need you to get at me about these defenses." It was a blank tape. Never said anything about it. So I mean, that happens in the league.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's plenty of players who do not take advantage. Jamarcus Russell being one of them. Tua being another.
So if Tua is that trash, then Miami would go ahead. If Tua is this trash, as you're saying, then Miami will go ahead and sign Cam Newton, right?
No.
I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised.
You just said he's trash, and you said he's so bad. You said that he's like this is y'all be making.
I wouldn't be surprised if
Miami wants a super upgrade. You know what I mean? They want somebody that's gonna come in and make them like ready to win the championship now. Cam Newton not gonna help you win no championship.
Cam, what are you talking about? He just said for New England.
Cam Newton's not gonna help you win no championship.
Okay, that's your point. But Rashad's point is that Cam Newton would have helped New England win a championship this year. He said they have enough talent on the team that Cam Newton could have took them.
Because of the talent around him.
The Dolphins don't. The Dolphins don't even have a running back.
Exactly. Thank you. Too.
Gaskins is
Miami and New England is different.
Don't do that.
He's a better running back than the Bills had last year. Listen,
all right,
Gaskin. Listen to me. Gaskin averaged more yards per game than both our running backs. So stop it. So it doesn't even matter. Yes. So everything y'all be saying, y'all be driving me crazy because y'all don't even say shit that makes sense.
Yo, first of all, you can't curse on the show.
Sense.
You curse on the show for the third time. That's number one. Number two, just because of Gaskin is not better than any of our running backs, bro. He's
then
not.
Why does he average more yards per carry?
Because they run the ball more, bro. They run the ball more. Miami is not
a passing offense.
Oh man,
you know what?
Listen, he's not a notable name because he's just a second-year player, but he averages more yards per carry and he rushes and receives. Every single game, he's a consistent running back. You guys watch the NFL?
Do they have Stephon Diggs on their team?
We throw the ball more than Miami does.
We throw the ball more, bro. They have Ryan Fitzpatrick. They have Ryan Fitzpatrick and Tua Tagovailoa as their quarterbacks, bro.
Okay,
they had. Hold on.
Gaskins is putting up the numbers.
Yes, because you have a rookie quarterback who's not really polished, who has to check down to the running back. You have Ryan Fitzpatrick, who can barely make it down the field. You have to check down to a running back. You have no receivers on that team aside of Gesicki. Don't say the other cat that's on their team. He trash too. So
he's not
trash. What are you talking? He's not Stephon Diggs, but he's not
trash. Okay, he not trash. But I mean, if you lock him up, you got to throw to the running back.
Y'all confusing the crap out of me. The Dolphins last year were one game from the playoffs, right?
And they couldn't close.
Bro, you never let me finish.
Go ahead.
You said he was 10, but you're telling me that Cam Newton. Oh my God, I don't get this. Cam Newton's a better quarterback. We all agree than Tua Tagovailoa, right? So you mean to tell me that Cam Newton can't come to that team and get you one more win to the playoffs? Which one is it? Is he
trash? They don't have a running game
this year.
They don't have a running game.
Is Tua trash or not?
He's trash.
You're telling me that he's trash.
But you're telling me that
don't
have a running game.
Okay, that's cool. Listen, that's cool. You're telling me that Cam Newton can win with the New England Patriots, right? But that Cam Newton also doesn't bring more wins to the Dolphins team. Which one is
Bro,
it?
the Patriots have the better
not
roster,
built
bro.
for it.
They have the better roster than the
How
Dolphins.
do the Patriots have the better? Listen,
Look at
okay,
they
that's
look
fine.
how much money they spend for
Lord.
agency. Look how many players coming back
But
on
they haven't.
defense.
But they haven't.
Their
proven
defense
it.
is better than
Okay,
Miami's
Badu,
defense.
how they haven't proven it?
How?
Miami already proved it last year with the top 5
Who
defense in the league.
who on Miami is
So
equivalent to
you're telling me
Stephon
that New
Gilmore and
England,
J.C. Jackson?
that Stephon Gilmore's not playing yet. So
Who's
you're telling me
equivalent on Miami's defense to Dante
Okay.
Hightower,
I don't need
Matthew
to know that. As a
Judon?
unit, they played great. The Miami Dolphins, the New
So I'm
England Patriots.
saying
So listen
that's
to
the
me.
point.
Is the going to have a top 5 defense this year? Is the defense ranked? Can you tell me for sure that the Miami Dolphins? I'm talking about New England Patriots. Do they have a top 5 defense this year? You believe they would be the top 5 defense in the league?
I
On
do.
paper, yes.
If Gilmore comes back healthy, yes. Easy.
But Gilmore's not there right now. I'm
For
talking
6
about right
weeks.
now. So
He'll
you
be
have,
back
to,
in
you have to include that. You have to include 7 games into this season.
We're playing bums the first few weeks. If you really want to get into it.
Miami Dolphins have proven that they're a top 5 defense in the league. They've proven it already.
But they lost players.
They lost who? Kyle Benoit?
They lost Vinoy.
He's a good player.
Who went back to the Patriots, by the way.
Yeah, that's a player. That's a player. I gave you that.
You know what I mean? Like it's
They
just,
lost other people. They lost their deep tackle. He went to New
My
England.
whole point be like, y'all don't be making sense. Cam Newton is good. He's better than Tua, but he won't help that team.
So
But you won't sign him. But
Oh
Tua
my
is
God,
absolutely trash.
So let me break it down to you. I'll break it down to you real quick. In order for Cam to be
I ain't
effective,
even get to my point yet, man.
in order for Cam to be effective, he has to have a running game. Miami doesn't have one. End of the conversation.
that's it.
How they did not have
That's
him? Okay.
I don't know. Maybe I don't know. I don't know what
I like
color going
Gaskin.
on, man.
I like Gaskin as a player.
All right. Wow.
And I'll pick him against Singletary all day in the fantasy.
Greetings from Delaware. Shout out to you, old Ren number 1. Shout out to you in the chat room. Appreciate it. My make my point, and then we got to get up out of here because we run out of time. I mentioned this on Thursday's show, but next week is September 6th, which would be my birthday, but it's also a good cause. If y'all don't know who I'm talking about, Cortez Kennedy, Hall of Fame defensive tackle from the Seattle Seahawks, wore number 96. His family does what's called the 96 check-in. So I'm asking everybody, to do that on September 6th. That will be the Fan Cave Draft Day as well. So go ahead. We're going to be live, and please do the 96 check-in. Check in on somebody you ain't checked in a while. It could be a family member, it could be a friend, it could be anybody that you were close to. Obviously, we done lost some homies to COVID. We done lost some family members in general. So September 6th, do the 96 check-in on somebody you ain't talked to in a while. That's my point. Shout out to the Buffalo Bills. Heard the stadium will be up by 2027, 60,000 seats. Some of it will be covered, but we will.
That's it.
60,000 seats, yes.
We're
60,000
reducing the
seats.
number. Oh.
We're getting a new stadium. Let's not complain about it. We're getting a stadium.
Where's it going to be at?
It's going to be adjacent to the one we have. Yeah, it's not coming downtown. Sorry, people. But yeah, deal will be a new stadium will be built by 2021. The Pagulas will put up 50, and the county
21 or 27. Which one is it?
2027. I'm sorry, 2027. Apparently, according to the article, the Pagulas are willing to put up 50%, and the state is willing to put up half as well. So that will be coming to Buffalo. Shout out to the Bills, possibly getting that deal done. Shout out to everybody watching. We appreciate y'all watching us. We will be back Thursday for our Fan Cave Sports Talk. It was mostly our Bills show, but we will talk NFL as well. And I have a question I want y'all to think about. You can leave it in the chat right now, and we'll bring this up on the show on Thursday. Who has the best sports uniform? And I mean not football. I'm talking about all around sports. Who has the most iconic uniform? I can tell y'all mine if y'all want. But I mean, I'm just.
Well, it ain't the Ohio State Buckeyes.
I wasn't going to say that. I wasn't going to say that. I wasn't going to say
Not the
that.
New England Patriots.
Best or iconic? That's two different things.
Best. And I can tell y'all mine. I can tell y'all mine right now if y'all want to know where to start off at. Mine's the best uniform of all time. To me, you can't get better than the Yankees pinstripes. You can't get better than that. Whatever,
Oh yeah, the
whatever,
pinstripes.
whatever. You can't get better. You can't beat it. You can't beat it.
Pinstripes,
You can't beat
baby.
it. The
The Seattle
pinstripe.
home jerseys are way better.
Nope.
Yes.
Not even close.
Some colors. Woo!
Not even close. The
It's
Yankees
not, you're right, it's
pinstripes.
not close. Seattle's way better.
Mm-hmm. Okay. But yeah, y'all leave it in the chat. Leave it in the chat. We will bring it back up on Thursday. But for right now, for Carl, for D, for the birthday man, too, we will see y'all next week. For the coach of Bishop Sycamore High School, we out here.
Peace.